to admit, once and for all, that these people are fucking idiots. And they have been the entire time.
Johnny, our good friend Klaus Schwab, is he on a bloody rocket-like trajectory to becoming one of the most famous and well-loved people in the world? Oh, Klaus, Johnny, yeah, he does show all the hallmarks of becoming an international celebrity. I don't think there's much doubt about that at all. Is that how you see it? Is that how I see it? Well, yes and no.
Cooperation in a fragmented world. At the beginning of this year, we are confronted with unprecedented and multiple challenges.
Good, he's generating so much love and influence out there.
The global economy is undergoing deep transformation.
Right, yes. So where did Klaus come from? Well, Klaus was born in 1938 in Germany, Johnny. A great place to be born in that particular time, I can assure you. Germany in the late 30s, huh? And his beloved father, Johnny, he was working as a scientist, working for the Nazis on developing Germany's own nuclear bomb. Right, yes, so he was a very smart man, was Klaus's father. Well, that doesn't surprise me. And we've got to thank the good Lord in heaven, Johnny, that the Germans didn't develop a nuclear weapon before the Americans, because we'd all be speaking German if they did. Well, I'm sure he was a loving father, Johnny, even though he was working for the Nazis developing a nuclear fucking bomb. Those bastards would have used it, but I'm digressing. Klaus grew up in post-war Germany, and I'm sure that influenced his style and his and his tone of voice in a very distinct way.
We have to define the specific elements of the global system.
But Johnny, he must be a bit of a mover and shaker to get where he is. Now, I'm not sure when all this hit him. He had this lightning flash that he was going to become a world mover and shaker. It was pretty early on in the piece because he's been doing it for a long time now.
Here's everything you need to know about Klaus Schwab, founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum. Born in 1938 in the town of Ravensburg, Germany, Schwab holds a doctorate in economics from the University of Freiburg and a doctorate in engineering from the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology. He is most well known for founding the World Economic Forum in 1971, a foundation to bring together political and business leaders from around the world.
The initiative. So we are very glad if we can act as a platform where as much action is generated, new ideas of course also.
Yeah, so he got this sort of divine sort of a bloody flash that he was going to build a World Economic Forum and he was going to get billionaires all together in the one room and bloody they were going to throw around ideas to make our lives so much better.
We all know Davos. We all know its Great Reset agenda. We all know its catchphrase, you'll own nothing and be happy. Ding! But who is Klaus Schwab? What does he want? What goes on at the World Economic Forum? And should we be afraid of their evil, malicious agenda?
Now that can be a bit controversial, I might say. Some of his ideas, they just stir up a little bit of discontent. But by Jesus, you've got to admire the bloke who can just soldier on like he does.
How can Davos contribute to improving the state of the world?
Yeah, I mean, the Great Reset and all these bloody billionaire bloody theories, they're hard to get across to the public in any sort of positive way.
Stuff, and then they just keep marching because they are devoted to the endless destruction of all things good.
Johnny, do you mean to say there are people out there that don't like him? At all? Yeah, it seems there's this little minority of people out there, Johnny, who don't really want to be bossed around by billionaires. They'd rather go a slightly different course.
Because there's a number of big pieces, things on the table right now. First of all, a central bank digital currency, the CBDC, right, where they will control all of the money supply. They will tell you that you can't go to the store because you've already been to the store too many times. You've driven your car too many times. Your carbon footprint is too high. they are very close to putting this in place. That's just one of the pieces that they're going to be discussing during this week.
Yes, so, you know, the archetype of Davos man is unelected global leader who's making decisions for society at large without having the backing or the choice of the people, right?
But there is a problem with Klaus, though, Johnny. A problem? What sort of problem? It seems that he can come over as a sort of a Bond villain from the classic bloody Bond movies, and that doesn't sort of hold him in good stead. Well, I suppose his voice can be a little bit,
Reshaping of supply chains are all serving.
Yeah, he could have been acting in those Bond movies for sure. Not even have to act. Johnny, are you being racist here? Racist? It might be racist, Johnny, but who gives a shit about offending a German billionaire? Of course. Yeah, that's right. But getting back on track, Johnny, I think he's got to change his voice to become even more warmer and... Well, yeah, that would be a bit... yeah, can you imagine him coming out with a Sean Connery bloody accent? It's Klaus. Klaus Schwab. It's Klaus. Klaus Schwab. Oh, Johnny, you're bloody good at that. Well, yeah, you could overdub his voice, Johnny, especially when he's on camera. It'd be a bit difficult when he's just talking to people normally. But by Jesus, on TV and all that sort of stuff, he could easily be dubbed with a Scottish accent.
Can't get it together to be together. Anyway, so the march was on the 28th of August, 19...
Imagine Klaus speaking in Cockney.
That's what a lot of bother. What a lot of bother.
On the other hand, Johnny, it's part of his charm, his rugged charm. His voice, I mean, it's it's quite melodic.
Our global economy is undergoing deep transformation.
But Johnny, Klaus's message of peace and love and reform, isn't that enough? But then Johnny, Klaus might bloody shun the limelight. I think deep down, Klaus is a shy little prick, and what we see is just a front. A front of a poor little boy who's just crying out for attention.
See every day how the world is falling apart with the different crises which we have to manage.
Now, in reality, Johnny, Klaus's life has been a great disappointment. He could have been he could have won Academy Awards without even trying.
A very cordial welcome.
I think that's a plus. He could have been every man's bloody villain. But Johnny, it's obvious Klaus just wants to help everybody, surely. He could have gone to Hollywood. He could have been presenting Oscars. But no, he's fucking around with these billionaires that are just going to lead to a dead end. Well, it does. Well, because there's no way the world will just let Klaus and the billionaires decide how the world's going to run. We live in a democracy.